Hey guys, how's it going? Enough said here. It's Monday, April 16th, 2018. Actually have the day off work today, so figured it'd be a good day to catch up on YouTube. I got a bunch of videos I want to watch, some comments I want to reply to, and also wanted to make this video. Did not get to participate in a lot of YouTube activity this past week. This is probably my favorite time of year for a couple reasons. Obviously, baseball season has started, MLB, but also Little League. Both my boys play Little League, and they also both play travel baseball. And my daughter plays lacrosse. She plays for the town rec team, and then also is on a travel team. So I got three kids, and they're on six teams, and that kind of equates to like youth sports 7 days a week this time of year. So really enjoy watching them play, but it does become kind of exhausting. So today I'm trying to catch up on some stuff. So anyhow, before I get started with the real purpose of this video, I just thought I'd show you these catalogs. I don't know how many of you participate in like online auctions, but this time of year, a lot of the big auction houses send out these catalogs, and they have, kind of major auctions that they're running. And I kind of just enjoy getting these catalogs. I don't, a lot of this stuff is really high-end, expensive stuff. But just looking through the catalogs is kind of cool. It's almost like, a history lesson. It's like a baseball card history book, and they send these out for free. If you just register for the auction, which doesn't cost anything. This one's actually probably my favorite, REA, Robert Edward Auctions, and they do a couple auctions a year. The spring one, which is going on now, is probably the best one. And these books they send out are actually really fun to look through. They also have all the same stuff online. I've only ever bought one card out of these auctions, but do enjoy getting the catalogs. So some of the major auction houses, and I'm not affiliated with any of these, but they all kind of have a different thing that they specialize in. But REA, Golden are the two companies I showed you the catalogs. Also like Memory Lane, Heritage is another really big one, and there's a lot of smaller ones also that you can actually get some really good deals on. But just thought I'd show those. And then to the main purpose of today's video, this is a response for Reina Martin, who is running a contest for his 100 subscribers. So, John, congratulations on getting your 100 subs. Really enjoy your channel. Of course, a fellow Red Sox fan, so love looking at your collection, and really like your videos. So you got an unbelievable collection, and keep the videos coming. So for the contest, he wanted to know, I guess, like how we got started in the hobby, and to show some of the stuff, like our earliest, things we have from when we started collecting. So I guess the earliest memories that I have of baseball cards, and it's a little, kind of fuzzy, but I have some vague recollection of being like 5 or 6, and my father buying packs of cards for me. So that would have been like 1980, 81. And my father grew up in New York City in the late 40s, 50s, early 60s. And so, he kind of has the typical story of, my collected cards and put them in the spokes of my bike, and my mom threw away my cards kind of deal. But I guess the 50s would have been his major time for collecting. But he's the one who got me started in it, and started buying me packs. And the oldest thing that I have from baseball memorabilia is this photo that I've shown before, and this is a photo that I took of my TV in 1983 on Yaz Day, which was the day before his last game. They had a special thing for him at Fenway, and I was 8 years old, and Yaz was my favorite player, so kind of devastated that he was retiring. So I took this photo of the TV, and I have had this ever since. So I want to try to get him to sign this, but he doesn't do a lot of public signings, so hopefully someday I can get that. By the time I was like 8, 9, 10, my father started taking my brother and I to card shows, and you know, in the mid 80s in the Boston area, there was a ton of shows. It was like every other week there was a show, you know, if not more. And my father would take us and give us a couple bucks, and we would walk around, and he would buy stuff too. And you know, then after the show, you know, we would go back to the car, and he'd give us a bunch of stuff that he had picked up for us. It was really pretty awesome. And also, you know, much like today, athletes would come sign autographs. And sorry for the glare there. That doesn't help much either. So we would get autographs from the players. This is Billy Williams. And got Bob Feller here. And also Warren Spahn. I've shown all these in other videos also. But I just went to the Chantilly show last week, and the amount of money that some of the players charge now for the autographs is insane. I don't think that we spent more than like maybe 10 or 12 bucks for any of these. But you know, it was pretty cool getting those signed. And then another memory from about that time is that there was a card store in Arlington, Massachusetts called Hall's Nostalgia. And anyone out there watching who grew up in the Boston area in the 80s who collected cards knows about Hall's Nostalgia. And I think it was one of the first actual brick and mortar card stores in the country. I think it opened in the 70s. And it was just an amazing store. They also ran like live auctions. But I would beg my mother to drive me and my brother there to just look at the cards. And they had a lot of vintage stuff too, which I remember just looking at and, you know, kind of being enamored with it, and couldn't really afford any of it. But even back then, I kind of gravitated towards the older stuff, that at least looking at it. But I have a vivid recollection of opening a pack of 84 tops at the store, Hall's Nostalgia, and pulling a Mattingly rookie. So that was pretty cool, and I remember how excited I was, which was, you know, that was a big moment for me back then. Hall's Nostalgia closed their, I think they moved to a different location and ended up closing the store. I think they may still be active selling on eBay, but I'm not 100% sure. They had, you know, ads in Sports Collectors Digest and Beckett. I mean, they were a big seller in the 80s. But anyhow, so another recollection I have is 1986 was maybe one of the biggest years for me buying packs. And so I was 11 years old in 86. My friends and I would walk into town and buy packs. And one day my friend Josh and I walked in and we spent all our money on 1986 Topps packs. And then, you know, after that we were hungry, but we didn't have any money left. So we went and sat down at a restaurant in the center of town and ordered lunch and ate lunch, and then didn't have any money to pay for it. And that didn't go over so well. My parents still remind me about that. That was 32 years ago. But anyhow, funny memory. You know, the late 80s in, I guess, everywhere, but definitely in Boston area, there was a ton of card stores. My town that I grew up in, right outside of Boston, had about 30,000 people, and we at one point had 2 card stores in my town. You know, it was just an awesome time to be collecting cards. We used to go hang out at the stores, and all my friends collected, and we would trade cards. And I guess, you know, I've shown these also, but you know, mid-80s at a show, my father picked these up. I'm not going to go into this too much because I've shown these multiple times, but at a card show, my father bought these and, you know, paid very little for them, and actually had these framed and put them up in the house in my room, and he gave these to me for my 30th birthday. So these are, you know, another couple cards from that time period. I don't, unfortunately, have a lot of the stuff that I collected in the mid-80s. You know, I ended up kind of getting out of collecting in like 90, 91 maybe. I kind of stopped completely and sold a bunch of my stuff. You know, some of it I don't know what happened to it, but I've started at shows kind of picking up, you know, I don't spend a lot on these, but like out of the $1, $2 bin, just buying cards that I remember from those days. And you know, the focus of my collection is, you know, if you watch my videos, is the pre-war stuff, but I really do have a sentimental attraction to these cards from the mid 80s. And if I can get these like out of the dollar bin, $2 bin, you know, I'm going to get these. And I do enjoy looking at these cards. These remind me of when I was a kid. I'll just go through these quickly. But, you know, I'm going to continue to get these and, you know, get some of the, you know, iconic 80s cards, and don't really want to spend a ton and get them graded, you know, high, you know, 9s and 10s, but just having them like this. So that summer I spent buying 86 Topps baseball. I guess I should have been buying 86 Fleer basketball instead, but oh well. I always like these 85 Donruss. There's a Clemens rookie. Maddox. 87 Donruss, another good looking set. So like I said, by the late 80s, probably early 90s, I was completely out of collecting and kind of moved on to different interests. And you know, after college and after I'd worked for a couple of years, I kind of got back into it. Maybe about 15 years ago now. But that's it. So that's kind of the story of my history of my baseball collecting. So Reina, again, congrats on 100 subs. Keep the great videos coming, and I will talk to you guys soon. Take care. Bye.